Oh me, oh my, Marco Flores. It's the Power Hour. It's that part of the week again. I'm so
Yes, it
excited.
is.
Oh man. I'm Wes Gardner, your host for today's proceedings. Very, very happy. We're at episode 17, right? 17.
17.
Oh, and BlizzCon is a mere, what, 4 days away? Starting to get
Yeah,
that Warcraft itch again, but playing Final Fantasy 14. That's my MMO of choice right now. But the siren of Warcraft is calling me back. So I thought, what
well,
better time to actually play a non-WoW Warcraft game? So we're taking a look at Warcraft 3: Reign of Chaos.
so you heard the horn, it was like,
Yeah, some guy knocked on my door and he was like, Oktar Logar, which means for the Horde in Orcish.
oh,
Like
okay.
this is how this episode's gonna go, by the way. Just a
Oh,
bunch of
snap.
just nerd ass shit that's about to happen.
Oh, man.
Oh, I got my energy drink here. We're all here. And okay, just even before we get started, what do you know, just even on the surface of Warcraft? Like, it doesn't need to
Um,
be like story, but just tell me things. Whenever you hear Warcraft, what do you think of?
the first thing I thought of was the N64 port. That was horrible. That was horrible, dude.
Oh God, it was
I
so
played,
bad.
I rented that. I rented that game. I was like,
Oh
this is it? This
shit.
is what everybody's talking about?
Yeah, they
But,
called it, and it was weird. They called it Warcraft 64, but it was
right.
actually Warcraft 2. Oh God, Tides of Darkness, I think was the actual subtitle of it. But there was that, and then there was a BattleNet edition. But the N64 didn't even get BattleNet edition. They got the fucking original Tides of Darkness, which was fine. But then it was a bad version of Tides of Darkness.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I don't even know if it had a story. It was just with the one-on-one battles or what.
Yeah, yeah, it was basically the humans versus orcs, which
Yeah.
is which is kind of the traditional, I guess, Warcraft thing. Like even the Warcraft movie that Duncan Jones is directing, that's all it's about. It's about Lothar and can't remember the other guy's
The
name.
Warcraft movie?
Yeah, yeah, the Warcraft movie they're making. It's actually based on Warcraft 1. Like so they're
Oh,
going
okay.
way back to like the time of the old gods and stuff, which is pretty rad. I'm kind of a lore guy. Warcraft is sort of my, everyone has a really big one nerd thing. I have a few, but Warcraft's one of them. So so I think it counts. But
You mark out on Warcraft,
I
huh?
did a little bit, a little bit. I mean, not much lately. I will say not much lately. Mist of Pandaria, the newest WoW expansion, didn't really do it for me. The gameplay was great and the mechanics they did in the game were good. It's just the rest of it felt old, you know. And especially with stuff like Final Fantasy 14 out, it looks newer, it feels newer, it has that kind of how we talked about before on some old episodes and even the DC Universe Online Power Hour. We talked about that kind of feeling of not knowing what to do and how that's exciting and not knowing where the bathroom is. That type of like, oh, everything's so new.
Yeah.
Um, but Warcraft doesn't have that for me anymore. Back during Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, it did. Everything was brand spanking new. They were right in the heat of what many consider the best part of the lore, which has to do with Thrall versus Arthas. And yeah, this could get really lore heavy, but I'm gonna try to keep it as like minimal as possible. But yeah. So you remember the N64 game? Do you think of anything else really, like the TV
Um,
commercials with Mr. T or
yeah,
anything?
TV commercials. Yeah, the Chuck Norris stuff. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I was at a party.
Yeah.
I was playing Final Fantasy 11 at the time.
Okay.
So, it was my friend's birthday party. I went there and they were like, "Hey, you want to try? Want to try WoW?" And I was surrounded by people that all played WoW.
Yeah.
And so, I was like, "Okay, yeah, I can check it out. Let me give it a try." So I think I made like an alliance palette or something,
Yeah.
and just went through like the basic level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, it's pretty good. And then I look around me, and everybody surrounded me, and all of them with the wide eyes said like, "What do you think?" Like, and in my head, I'm like, "What the hell? This feels like a damn cult right now. Why
Pretty
are you
much.
guys wide-eyed and looking at me like that?" I was like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not too bad. Not too bad. But that kind of freaked me out because they're trying to convert me or something.
It is really weird, man. There's people that take so much pride in how addicted they were at the game. And they'll say
Right.
it Like, you don't imagine people like, I lost my house at penny slot machines. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
don't hear that. Like, that's not a source of pride. But a lot of people, oh, I used to raid Warcraft so much, I lost my wife. Man, I was so. And I'm like, whoa, wait, back up about the losing the wife thing? Like, what happened? But
Right.
it's just the siren calls, man. And that's what I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm getting a little bit of that itch. People are talking about Warcraft again. There's some rumors going around about what's going to be a BlizzCon. Like, oh, man. So I was like, no, I'm going to play Warcraft 3. It's kind of the best thing Warcraft's ever done. There's actually books written just on the story of Warcraft 3.
You actually showed it on your streams.
Well, yeah, right. One of them was, let's see if I have it in the room. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's called Arthas, and it's actually the very first Warcraft novel that was ever a New York Times bestseller.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty legit. It's by Christy Golden, and I recommend it to everybody watching this. If you want to get into like Warcraft lore, Arthas, the book, it's just called Arthas. Buy it. Like $6, worth it. Well written, easy to follow. It explains Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, and up until Wrath of the Lich King in World of Warcraft. So you're talking about 25 years of video games in about a 250-page book.
Oh, wow.
And it covers all of it, and it covers it well. I mean, you learn the relationships and what happened to Arthas, and the best way to explain Arthas is kind of just think Anakin Skywalker.
Okay.
Like the fall of Darth Vader. That's exact, like almost verbatim. People make fun of it all the time. But we're gonna take a look right here. This Warcraft 3 actually has 4 main characters. One of them is Arthas. This first one though, let's see, there's a prologue, Exodus of the Horde. Let's go ahead and do this one. This will be a nice introduction. This has to do with Thrall, who's an orc shaman. So he's for the Horde. And yeah, and I think that there's a mysterious prophet that he talks to. Let's see, let's just do normal difficulty, prologue campaign. Let's get in here and figure this out. Oh, I think it's starting a cutscene. Oh, started a cutscene. Oh, now it just loaded. It's loading now. That's fine. Let's see, we got that going. It's really weird. I'm playing Warcraft 3 in a windowed mode, and I'm playing on a 16:9 resolution, which did not exist when this game came out. So none of the actual... They need to do an HD remaster or something, because none of the cutscenes actually play. It's just black screen. So there's the prophet, and he's a raven right now. There's Thrall, War Chief. Well, I wonder if he's War Chief yet. War Chief's kind of the highest rank. Think of him as a Master Chief of sorts for the Horde.
Oh.
Yeah, see, we're mixing lores now. Doing some fanfic. Let's see. So this is your traditional real-time strategy game. You right-click, you can box select things. We're going to get more into that.
In order to reach the next banner,
since it's in a window, it's going to take me a second to kind of get used to where the arrow goes to scan up and down. But basically, just kind of basic tutorials that you're going to see. Controls very much like what people might think now is like League of Legends. And it's funny because Defense of the Ancients was a mod that was... This goes a few layers deep, but Defense of the Ancients was a mod for Warcraft 3 that was based off a mod called the Aeons of Strife for Starcraft Brood War. And technically Defense of the Ancients is Dota. Like, that's it. Right. You buy boots of speed, you can go and you have to take down towers, like the whole thing. It started with Warcraft 3. I know Starcraft Brood War had it before, but it wasn't as popular. Like, if we tried to go find an online game of Warcraft 3 right now, we probably would not find one. It would probably just be Defense of the Ancients.
Right.
So it's still going. There's still patches for it. It's crazy. Crazy. But yeah, Thrall, I got my little henchman right here. Scroll down a little bit.
Order your troops to perform an aggressive attack move into the enemy.
So real-time strategy stuff, base building. And, you know, we're going to get to a point where we cut down trees to get some wood, to make a barracks, to make some guys, to, you know, the whole shebang. Much like an Age of Empires or something like that. But what you probably just saw, Thrall is now level 2. So what Warcraft 3 did is it introduced the idea of hero units. So yeah, you could make your barracks and you could make your foot soldiers like a grunt here and you can control them by themselves. But you have a main story character called a hero that you could actually control, and he would level up. He would unlock abilities, which we're going to get to here in a second, I think. But yeah, you would actually unlock abilities. Now it seems like a standard thing. But this, oddly enough, the very first game that did it.
Right corner of your screen.
Right.
Which is pretty interesting from like a historical standpoint. Because now it's just common sense. Like, oh, well, everything, you level up in Call of Duty, you level up in... But this was one of the first, I know I'll probably get corrected on YouTube, but this was one of the first really high-profile games. Here, I'll put it that way. First high-profile games that mixed real-time strategy with RPG. You had, like, the Heroes of Might and Magic series, but that was more turn-based strategy. This one actually had the immediacy of a real-time strategy game.
Treasure chest.
Did any other games do that after Warcraft?
That's actually a really good question. I know a lot of games did something more like it. They may not have copied it directly simply because they probably tried it and didn't do it as well. So then, but now you have games that are sort of like a hybrid of this and Heroes of Might and Magic, like King's Bounty is a really good series. It's by an independent developer, but it's a very, very good. I actually own all the King's Bounty games because the gameplay is so good. But this was kind of... Whenever I first played Warcraft 3, I didn't really know what to think. Because I was used to Warcraft 2. Like you said, it was just humans versus orcs. You just build your shit, you make better shit, you make more of it, and then you go kill the thing. And that's it. That's pretty much all that was. Sure, you could worry about your... resources and things like that, but it was primarily just a war game. You would make your people and then you would go fight. With this, now there's that extra layer of having a hero character. So what we're going to do now, the Ogre Warrior right here. Oh, mouse is freaking out. Ogre Warrior right here. He's a level 3. I'm a level 2. Let's see if we can attack him. See if we can do this. We might lose a few guys in the process, but it'll be worth it. Yeah, we'll take him out. He'll probably...
He's gonna be the Zion of the... Oh, no one.
Yep. Nobody ever made it. There we go.
Everybody's all away from Dominique.
Yeah.
Cyborg Dominique.
That's right, Cyborg Dominique, man. And for those that don't know what we're referring to, you guys have to go check out Wes and Marco Play the Bouncer. You have to go watch it. It is amazing. So we're gonna come over here. I could go all through the map. You can see actually right down here on the bottom left corner.
As you're unlocking the map in a way.
Right, exactly. Like in these black areas where you can't really see stuff, it's called Fog of War, and that's kind of a carryover to every real-time strategy game. Actually, I cannot think of a single one that doesn't call it that. But as far as a real-time strategy game, like how many real-time strategy games have you played, Marco?
Yeah, the N64 Warcraft. Let's see. Starcraft. I want to say that's it. Just those two.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, just those two. And then I was getting interested in Command and Conquer for a little. Actually, I played a little bit of Command and Conquer. Okay. Then like they were bringing all the celebrities, and Ric Flair was wrestling a bear.
Oh, right, with Red Alert.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
Red Alert. And I was like,
so
okay,
good, like Gina Carano and
right.
Oh yes, so good.
Yeah.
I would actually go on record to say that Warcraft 3 would probably be the best starter real-time strategy game. Simply because there's a lot around it. There's a lot of lore, so if you're in it for the story, you can do that. But the gameplay plays so well. I think this won over 24 Game of the Year awards. And I need to see what year it came out, because I think it was up against some pretty stiff competition.
And only by leading your people across
but yeah, it almost did a full sweep of all the awards and things like that. And at the time, I really didn't get it because, yeah, like I said, I really wanted more Warcraft 2. I was like, wait, I don't want to worry about my one hero and what's going on, and why aren't the maps as big as they used to be? Because as you know, Warcraft 1 and 2 were all two-dimensional. They were sprite-based, the same way Starcraft and Brood War were. But then since they did the move to 3D, they lost a lot of the surface area, I guess, like the perimeter isn't quite as big. Yay, we won. We won the tutorial. So we got Power Hour right there. There we go. Yep, with a score of 4,775. Seems legit, right?
So now at this point, in terms of story,
Mhm.
Are the humans and orcs like coexisting at this point? Because I know they were at war, right?
Yes, they were at war. They were at war to take out something called the Burning Legion. And the Burning Legion is an army. I wouldn't call them undead, but let's just call them possessed.
Okay.
A possessed army, and this is actually what's happening right now in the prologue, is the prophet, you know, that raven, he's giving a message to Thrall. Thrall's been having nightmares for him to return to the Burning Legion. So Thrall, I believe, was actually part of the Burning Legion, and orcs were the first ones to succumb to the power of the Burning Legion. So the orcs were the first ones to get possessed and start doing massacres of people. The Burning Legion is basically just based on the old gods. One of them, I want to say it was Sargeras. Like, I'm going to get these names wrong, almost guaranteed. But old god, he split off from the other Titans. Titans are kind of... Oh, I'm trying to think. Who's the giant galactic guy in Marvel? That is
Galactus?
Yeah, I think it might. That's probably the best way to think of it. Is that there are 4 Titans. One of them split and turned kind of evil. Thought that the other Titans weren't doing their job, you know, things like that. So you know how it goes.
It's like,
You know,
peace the fuck out.
yeah, he's like, y'all gotta get your shit together. And then he left. He started possessing people. And yeah, the orcs were the first to succumb to it because they thought it was a gift of great, you know, of kind of adoration because it was one of the Titans. One of the Titans was blessing them with this power. The only thing is, it was kind of a corrupt power. So the Horde and the Alliance have teamed up before, but now there's kind of a little bit of friction happening right now.
Okay.
Little bit, and that's kind of what's going on. And this prologue tutorial is kind of gonna go over that a little bit.
And right-click on the gold mine.
So we're gonna come over here.
Yes.
Come this way.
For honor.
So we have some watchtowers right here. So a lot of this might look real familiar to a lot of people that play League of Legends or Dota or something similar, because these are where the towers came from. Like, this is it right here.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we got some water right there. I'm just checking out the map to see where we're at here. All right. So there's the Alliance Forces base right here. We're gonna have to do something. I think let's do quest star, build a burrow, build a war mill, build a barracks, and train 5 grunts. So we're gonna make up our little group. The nice thing about Warcraft in general, they were big proponents of the mini-map. So I just sent Thrall and this grunt over here just to kind of check out what was going on. I just sent them back to where they need to be, right here, back at their base, just by right-clicking on the mini-map. I didn't have to like move my camera around or anything like that. So pretty easy, very intuitive, which is something I can definitely say Blizzard is very good at. All of their games are very, very intuitive. We'll wait here, and then we're going to build up our stuff, and then we're going to go take out the Alliance. So basically you have Thrall on the Horde, who's kind of a war chief of the Horde, and then you have Arthas in the Alliance. And Arthas is the one that becomes the Lich King. He gets this corrupted power, and he gets a sword called Frostmourne, which is pretty badass, and he basically becomes an Emperor of Death. It's actually pretty well done. The people make fun of it for being exactly like Star Wars with Anakin Skywalker, but even that, pretty good story, right? Because here's a guy who has the ability, he's one of the best Force users ever, but then he gets someone in his ear saying, hey, you know, things are wrong and you have enough power to fix it. you know, with Palpatine.
Right.
Palpatine, his silver tongue causes the downfall of Anakin Skywalker. It's just a search for power and a loss and a fear of loss. And the same thing kind of happens with Arthas with Jaina Proudmoore, who's also a paladin in the Alliance. They have a little thing going on. But then throughout the campaign of Reign of Chaos, you're actually going to see Arthas and Jaina split, because Arthas believes he has to go free his people from the corruption of the Burning Legion, which means his people are getting possessed. So what happens is he actually goes back. This actually happens more in the Frozen Throne, the expansion pack to Warcraft 3, but goes and he kills his own people. Come to find out, they weren't possessed. Arthas has been hypnotized by the shit. So there's this weird twisted web we weave type stuff that goes on, and it's good. I do think that it's kind of the best main story in Warcraft, but there's a whole lot more to it. Let's get some more of this. So right here, he can repair, he can build a structure. Let's see, we needed a barracks. Not enough gold. Well, we're gonna fix that. Get all 3 of our guys on gold. And God, it's been so many years since I played this game, and it's just such a good game. It plays so well. Let's see, so we're at 300 gold.
When was the last time you played?
Oh my God. I want to say the game came out in like 2002, so maybe like 2005.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's been nearly 10 years. Oddly enough, November the 23rd is the 10-year anniversary of World of Warcraft, to the day.
Oh, okay.
So November is kind of a big deal. We got BlizzCon coming up. We're expecting big announcements, just because it is the 10-year anniversary of WoW. So, you know, there's going to be some cool stuff going on. I'll probably resub this month just to see what free shit they give me. Basically, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to give me something. I know they will, because I have been playing World of Warcraft since the beta of the original. So, since 2003, I've played that game, and it's really good. But I still think that Warcraft 3 is the best thing that Warcraft's ever done.
I've heard that a lot throughout the years. Yep. What do you think will be coming out of BlizzCon in terms of like an announcement or news or what?
They're talking about a new expansion. Oh, I have way enough gold. Okay, let me build. Oh, build. I need barracks. There we go. Basically, they've already announced, or they haven't announced, but they've leaked some the new Hearthstone expansion that has over 100 cards for their free-to-play card game, which is hopefully, maybe at BlizzCon we're gonna get a fucking date for Android and iPhone, because they still haven't released it.
That's supposed to be happening. Okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely happening. They said it's in the works. Hopefully we'll know more about it. Hopefully they pull an Apple and they're like, you can download it right now.
Right now.
Which may happen. I mean, they've done crazier things. So that might be something to look forward to, because it's a very good game. And as far as Warcraft is concerned, I think they're going to go really heavy on the Warlords of Draenor, or rightfully so. It's coming out, God, I think it's literally coming out 2 weeks from now. Like, it's coming out before the end of November, for sure. Let's see, I need to build a burrow, a war mill, and a barracks. All right, so let's build a burrow. Not enough lumber. Well then, we have plenty of gold.
Yes.
Yeah, lumber.
Need that lumber, man. Okay, so we need to train 5 grunts. Train a grunt. Get some more lumber here. I should probably actually make more peons.
Continue producing grunts until you reach your quest requirement.
Yeah, and there's also stuff like this. When you hear a work complete notification, if you hit spacebar, it'll go to the thing that just completed. And that's actually carried over until even like StarCraft 2 still does that. So they're kind of they kind of invented the wheel, you know. Every game that's come since has sort of copied. Just the UI and the interface and the way information's given has its own vernacular, and it's really, really cool. So there's that. Oh, I should actually repair that over here. Let's see. What do I want to do? I want to get him. Let's have him start building a burrow. Sorry, I put it in their way there. But see, this still has the base building mechanics that I love so much. There are entire games dedicated just to building a base. Like, not even to fighting. You just build a city, you build a town, and you're good to go. And those games are really cool, too. Warcraft kind of hit that perfect balance. Warcraft 3, I will say, probably hit that perfect balance of base management with combat. Because Starcraft is very much what you make, when you make it, how you make it, and where is it on the map. Like, it's all about kind of map awareness, and then what is your opponent doing. Warcraft, in my opinion, is more of how good is your base. Is your base fortified? I know people that could just turtle in Warcraft and win games because of it. Right. Starcraft, not so much. There's always ways to get around turtling. So let's build another one of these. Alright, so build a war mill. Let's build one of those. Well, not enough gold. Nonsense.
Who built it can be assigned to a new task.
So we're gonna wait till he drops off that lumber and then make him get some more gold.
What do you want?
And we can set rally points. That way, whenever people come out of the barracks, they just run to a designated spot. Thrall, get him over by his peoples.
Travel to the rally point's location. To place a rally point, select one of your unit producing structures.
So up here, and you can see a food counter up here. Once we get to 30, we'd have to build more barracks for housing for units. Or an orc burrow. I actually can't remember which. Let's see. Place a rally point, for your Great Hall on either a gold mine or a tree to make newly trained peons automatically start harvesting at that location. Which is pretty handy. So yeah, it's just a bunch of base building and stuff right now. Kind of the best thing about Warcraft 3 is going to be the story. And Warcraft is such a rich lore that you can actually go to the bookstore and find, like, it's called the Warcraft Archive, which is a bundle of 4 books put together, and that thing's like 900 some odd pages long. And I own it because I'm a nerd. I own it because I'm a nerd, yeah.
Did you finish it?
Yes, I did. It actually has a lot of the stuff based on Warcraft 1. So like the War of the Ancients, which had to do with the Burning Legion, and then everybody else against the Burning Legion. So that's whenever the orcs and the humans made their first truce. But then the corrupt orcs that they kind of forgot about actually came through. They made what's called the Dark Portal, which you've probably seen in like advertisements, the big statues with the green like slime in the middle type stuff. Right. Yeah, that's where they actually entered Azeroth, the Burning Legion orcs, and then just started causing mayhem. Then everyone was confused because they thought, didn't the orcs and humans have a truce? Now we're at war. So it caused this big miscommunication thing, and now they've been warring ever since. So good on them, right?
Okay.
Let's see. And now can we build the war mill? Yes, we can. Okay. Build that. Send our little duder. And the great thing about these, let me click on this a few times. You can see his little mouth moving right there. He actually says stuff. They'll say like glub glub and job well done and all these things. But if you keep clicking them, they start doing things like quoting Madonna songs. And it's the best. Blizzard's always been really good about pop culture, and sometimes it can be kind of ham-handed. Like, these guys are, what, 50 years old now? Like, the dudes that make this game, and they're doing, like, Rebecca Black jokes. You're like, it feels a little weird to me. I mean, at least they know their audience, you know?
Right.
But
yeah, that was probably, like, the one thing I remember and it sticks out. Like, I keep clicking on these units.
Yep.
What they say.
And, like, that tickles. They'll just say all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of break that fourth wall a little bit. Let's see. So are we good on our quests? Oh, still gotta wait on that war mill. Come on, gotta... Actually, I could probably get him... Oh, there we go. So we established a base. You can go do that. Establish a base. Domain quest completed. The Orcish horde will be arriving soon. This camp must be prepared for their arrival. Great, so we're gonna get more people. Oh, there we go. So here we go. They're building a bridge.
You orcs are in
captain. I don't know if that's Arthas. I think that's just a normal captain of Lordaeron.
one of your leaders. If you surrender now, we'll spare your lives.
Violation of the Alliance internment. Okay, so I will go on record. Like whenever you were doing your World of Warcraft thing, and you know everyone was kind of giving you the evil eye. Was anybody like, were they getting into arguments about Alliance versus the Horde?
My warriors, we must drive the
Oh,
humans
it wasn't so much of a evil eye. It was just like, join us.
Yeah, be
Wide
part of it.
eyes,
Drink
but,
this Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Let's see. When I made I think their main thing was just for me to join. But yeah, when I made the Alliance Paladin, they were like, okay, Horde is better.
Oh, right. See, because here's the deal. I'm Alliance through and through. And I know just that comment right there, I'm about to get 100 comments being like, fuck you. Like, just people get real upset. But here's the deal. And I'm going to call out the Horde. Horde are actually the good guys. So all these people thinking Horde's awesome. They're nanny panties, man. Like, they're like the Alliance do the evil shit. We gave birth to the Lich King. Like, we are the dominant forever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we're gonna keep those fuckers in mind. So Thrall's cool. I like Thrall. Thrall can join us anytime.
Right.
But because he's the best thing to come out of the Horde.
One of your structures was
Oh,
damaged.
I think I need a
repair a damaged building.
rescue Grom,
Select the
find
gear,
Grom.
Click the repair button and then left
Oh,
click
so
on the
we can come and we can actually see we're attacking the towers. So this even right now looks like a Dota match.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, you have the guys.
You're in the lane
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
in lane. We're pushing. Let's push mid, guys. Come on, let's go. Oh, another tower. These towers don't fight back though. You can make towers that fight back. They have archers in them.
Yeah.
But that's for later. So yeah, probably through this power hour, we'll just get through the prologue. Because the main campaign, like I said, main campaign takes place with 4 different stories. And it's kind of cool because it shows what's happening in the world of Azeroth whenever the Burning Legion's coming back and like Arthas is falling. You know, he's falling victim to the power of Burning Legion and the old mages that are corrupting his mind, and it's a good story. Like it's kind of traditional and it might be a little hammy and a little ham-fisted, but you know what's wrong with that every now and then? It's like a comfort food thing. Like, sure, the story's kind of trite, it's kind of, you know, whatever, but it's easy to follow and I like it. So, you know, everyone has one. You know, perfect example is like, you probably know so much more than I do about the story of Street Fighter. Like the actual lore behind Street Fighter, because I know someone was someone's master, but then, like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of know sort of some of it, but I know there's an actual lore there, and Warcraft's kind of the same way.
Yeah, Street Fighter is not really known for their lore, but that's to me that's probably like the favorite part of it. Cause,
Right.
Yeah.
And God knows it's better than Tekken.
I don't know about that, dude. Tekken's pretty out there. That's why I love
Well,
it.
right, like, how many times did Hayashi get thrown into a mountain? Like, tell me that.
Exactly.
Tell me that.
You know?
There's Grom. Is that Grom? Grom Hellscream?
I am
Maybe so.
the war chief.
Or no, it's another grunt. But yeah, we're about to find Grom, which is another war chief in, I keep saying war chief. I think that's actually the wrong title. It's like calling Captain Crunch Captain is not right because he's actually like a sergeant or something because of the bars on his lapel or the bars on his arm. But basically they're the I'll say they're some of the leaders of the Horde. And now what's happening in World of Warcraft is through Garrosh Hellscream, which is Grom's younger brother, is starting to make deals with the Burning Legion again. So those fuckers just won't give it up. They're trying to just get whoever will listen.
Right.
Here we go.
None will survive.
Did I just miss? Oh, Shaman, come on. Why is this Shaman here? Come on, Shaman. See, he can cast spells.
Right away.
So they actually have magic points, and
The spirits.
that's the one reason why it took me so long to like really get into the game. Is not only you can kind of set your guys on auto attack, but then you have to take care of your heroes. to make sure that they don't die. It's not necessarily game over if they die. You just kind of respawn at your base, but it's just annoying, you know, kind of waiting for your heavy hitters to make it out.
Yeah. Now, is there any jobs in WoW right now that they have yet to put out in terms of like
character classes and stuff?
Yeah.
Not that I know of. Because they kind of have all those bases covered so far. Like, the most recent ones that they made, of course, they made the monk because of Pandaria, and the Pandaren monks are trained in hand-to-hand combat because they didn't believe in actually using like steel and weaponry and guns. But before that, kind of the big class that everyone freaked out about, I know I freaked out about it, was the Death Knight. And the Death Knight is basically what Arthas became whenever he was the Lich King. He became a Death Knight. Instead of a paladin, now he's like an evil paladin, essentially. And that character class was rad as shit. That was an awesome character class. And that's the thing. Warcraft doesn't add a lot of character classes, but the ones they do, they always tie it back into the lore, which is pretty great.
Yeah, that's one thing I always mentioned to my friends when they were trying to convert me to WoW. I was like, I'll join WoW if there is a monk class.
Yep.
Because I would play monk in Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah.
And you know Wes, I do martial arts too,
Yep.
so like that's why it goes hand in hand.
Sure.
So when I heard that monk was coming out in Mist of Pandaria, I was like a little bit too late because I was talking to my friends like in 2007.
Right.
And now like that came out 2000.
2012.
12?
Yeah, 2012
Yeah.
or 13. So
Yeah, a little bit too late.
a little bit too late. I will say that Mist of Pandaria is an amazing expansion pack. I just kind of fell off the horse because I just didn't have the time to dedicate to it that I did for
Right.
like Wrath of the Lich King or Cataclysm. Because I used to be kind of an in-game raider. And you know, in-game raids could take 6 hours, and I would do those 4 times a week. But not anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't have time for that anymore.
Right.
You know, my priorities are different, so I have to look at a game that kind of rewards that sort of play. And I will be buying Warlords of Draenor for sure, because the Warlords of Draenor are basically, you know, I keep saying Thrall is a war chief and all this. He's one of the warlords, and so this is going to be kind of a prequel to see what happened with the Horde. Like Garrosh Hellscream, like here's Grom Hellscream, his older brother, but Garrosh Hellscream does all the shit, but he made a deal with the devil essentially, and he's building an alternate timeline. So now they're going back like 2,000 years to back whenever the Horde was still the Horde and the orcs were all united and, you know, all hail the Horde, and it was a very big prominent time for the Horde because they were the most powerful species in the universe. And then Grom is going to try to go back in time and recruit the old versions of like Thrall and all these people before they know any better, right? But while they're blinded by how kick-ass they are, he's like, come on and join me, the same way that the Burning Legion did to him.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot going on, and basically what just happened in that mission, Thrall got his people and knew that shit was about to hit the fan, so he took them to Kalimdor, which is the land of the Night Elves. And the undead and the Night Elves were both added specifically in Warcraft 3. Before that, it was just humans versus orcs. But then you had Night Elves and your undead. Also in Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, there is a hidden character, and his name is Chen Stormstout, and he is the very first Pandaren. It's the very first Pandaren. A lot of people are like, pandas, like Kung Fu Panda? And I'm like, Chen Stormstout was a character like a decade before Kung Fu Panda came out.
Exactly.
So no, like, sure, they look the same sort of, but, you know, and I mean, let's just be fair, how original of an idea is a Kung Fu Panda? Not very.
Right.
Like, it's, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, I love Warcraft and Blizzard to death, but they're not the most creative. But then, so we did the prologue campaign, the Exodus of the Horde. So Thrall knows the writing on the wall is about to happen. Arthas is about to lose his mind. He keeps getting those premonitions, the dreams, the nightmares about the Burning Legion. So he's like, something's not right. I need to go to Kalimdor. I need to talk with some elders, figure out what the fuck's going on. So we're going to play this little opening deal of the human campaign and probably call it a power hour then. Oh, another cutscene, which will not work. There we go. Defense of Stombrad. Yeah. Recent orc uprisings in southern Lordaeron have forced the Alliance to take decisive measures. To contain the orcish threat, King Tyrannus has sent 2 of the realm's greatest paladins, his son Prince Arthas, and the legendary Uther the Lightbringer, to deal with the orcs once and for all. So Arthas is kind of the wonderkin of where he has the most potential, and it's basically Anakin Skywalker, like I said.
Very, very Anakin.
Yeah, like, oh, he's the greatest and he's the youngest, and look at him, and he's gonna be the best, and all this potential, and then it ends up
It's good to see
Dang, look you.
yeah, look how big his fucking shoulder pads are. Like,
Right, I didn't realize that. I was looking at his portrait.
he looks like Fabio.
It is a father's right to dream, isn't it?
Look, here's where we
So
stand. Our scouts have
what's
confirmed
kind of
that
amazing,
there's
and I always get
orcs
kind of a
in
soft
some
spot, I posted it on Twitter, I think yesterday, but the opening cinematic for Wrath of the Lich King
It gets worse.
is
They're preparing to
Arthas's
attack the
father
nearby village of Strawnberg.
telling him as a young
As far
boy
as we know, the
that
village
he's
is
destined for
completely
great
defenseless.
things, and as a king, he will have absolute power, and he has to respect people, and he has to love people. And as all of this voiceover is happening, it's kind of that Superman deal,
Don't
right?
worry about me.
As this is happening, you see him as the Lich King wake up, summon the undead army, and go to massacre every living thing on the fucking planet. And it's just a great, it's an amazing juxtaposition. Just because, you know, his father taught Arthas so well,
I stand
but
for
all
the
of those
light.
good teachings have been
A
manipulated.
sound plan.
And yeah, it's just one of those. I will say this, as much as I love Blizzard, very rarely are they poignant,
For honor.
but that was good. Like, whenever I saw that, I was like, okay.
Of course.
And that kind of also explains why the book Arthas is the New York Times bestseller. Now, Warcraft has quite a few New York Times
course.
bestsellers. A lot of them actually written by Christy Golden, the same. Oh, here's some Blood Hill Bandits. So let's do some Holy Light, some Paladin skills right here. Oh, friendly target, I see. So yeah, we're just gonna kill these mobs real quick. So we have to make it. Arthas has to stay alive. I will say that Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne, that deals all with the downfall of Arthas becoming the Lich King and going to where's his mountain at? I'm trying to think of
Sound plan.
what the mountain range is called. If you would have asked me 20 minutes ago, I would have told you. But whenever you're recording on the spot, it's easy to. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so there's the Blood Hill Bandits. You know, Arthas is saving the people. Look how good Arthas is. But then the twist that Arthas ends up actually killing a lot of innocent people is pretty amazing.
Please, retrieve it from their camp.
So we're gonna take care of those guys right there. Have to make it this way. Let's come over here. Oh, gotta return
Of course.
ledger to Gerard.
For honor.
So we're running. And they did a very good job at balancing the story with the gameplay. So there's not a lot in the game that you see happen that you don't have a hand in.
Right.
Because a lot of times, and not even necessarily real-time strategy genres, sometimes they do it. I mean, Starcraft 2 is a perfect example. There's a lot of that story that you don't do. You just walk from one place to another and then shit happens. With this, they actually did a really good job of making you do things. But even other, like, last week, played some Devil May Cry, you know. And Devil May Cry, a lot of those cutscenes, I wish I was doing that stuff. But I wasn't. I was watching it being done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's always a disconnect.
So here's this. Let me Holy Light. So I'm healing my peoples.
Feel my wrath for my father.
Oh, Holy Light again. Oh, I'm gonna lose a guy. Oh, I missed him. Damn it.
He's going down.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
down.
he's down. Got a potion of mana there. Oh, I'm not doing too hot. Oh, here, let's go take care of.
I stand
Here,
for
run this way, Arthas. Oh,
for honor.
there we go.
Certainly.
need to get the Lost Ledger.
The light is my strength.
Even the way items are displayed is exactly like how Dota still is, which is funny. So we have all that. Come on, duder. Gotta get my party.
Of course.
Run up this away. Some quests. Travel to Stombrod. Okay. So we're just gonna right click on the map right here and watch our people run. But yeah, to say I'm a big Blizzard fanboy is kind of an understatement. There's just so much with all the games. I just love all their series. I love Diablo. I love Starcraft. I haven't played a lot of Hearthstone, but since it's Warcraft based, it's really easy to get into. You know, it's a really just fun pick up and play free to play game. You don't have to put any money into it. Now they added single player like raid modes with your cards to where you can do like a single player campaign where you just play against people, which is really cool. Oh, gotta take out the BlackRock clan.
Justice is come.
Now, would you say that Blizzard is at a good place right now, or do you feel like they need a new game right now, other than Diablo, like holding them up?
That's actually a really good question. I know what a lot of people, if you were to ask that to a lot of people watching this video, they would say that Blizzard desperately needs a new game. However, I think they should actually bear down and really focus on the stuff that they have. They should really focus on making Hearthstone the best that it can be. They need to bring out Heroes of the Storm, which is their Dota, because it's in alpha right now, and like a lot of the Twitch streamers can play it, but not a lot of other people can. That's going to make them a lot of money that they lost making Titan, because now Titan's not coming out. They just canceled.
Yeah. They did cancel it.
Yeah, they just outright canceled it, and Blizzard has a history of just doing that, but that's good because it means they knew kind of what we knew, because we hadn't heard anything about it. And I think the reason why is because they just didn't. Oh, I'm losing all my guys. They just didn't have a good direction for it. You know. I'm gonna heal my duder. There we go. You can tell I'm not a Dota player. But they lost a lot of money on Titan. However, now that it's canceled, they're no longer losing money on Titan. You know what I mean? They kind of cut it out, and now they don't have to worry about that. So focus on Diablo. Reaper of Souls is the best thing they got going right now. They saved that game so well. I was so disappointed in Diablo 3 when it first came out, but Reaper of Souls makes it my favorite Diablo game ever. And like even more than Diablo 2, which I spent like thousands of hours playing. So Blizzard's in a good place. Are they in a great place? That part's arguable. I do think they need to show at this BlizzCon, all they really need to show is that, one, they're listening to the fans, two, fucking release Heroes of the Storm. Just do it. It's already there. The game's balanced. People playing it. They already have competitive esports teams, for God's sakes. Like, release the fucking game. Like, not only because I really want to play it, but you're going to make so much money selling skins for that game. So much money. They're making money hand over fist with Hearthstone.
Certainly.
So they're going to be announcing, my thing is they're going to be announcing that, more of the, oh, damn it. I think I just lost my duder. Okay.
Feel my wrath. Betrayer of the light.
So it's just me. It's just fucking Arthas versus everyone, man. This is the way it should be. Facts and figures. Oh man. Oh man. Might actually die out. Shit. Yep. Let's see. Let's reduce the difficulty and try this again. Because I probably needed to make more guys at the base.
Right.
Or they're gonna just give me more guys to start off with, which is what it looks like.
And now, as you're saying, Blizzard is good right now.
Yeah.
They just need to bolster what they have. Do you feel like they need to announce like an MMO?
No.
While WoW is like going like less on the subscribers.
I think what they're doing right now is they've talked about how it's been 10 years and we expect WoW to still be around in 10 more years. I think that's a good way to frame it. Because, a lot of people wanted Titan because it was a different MMO. They said it was going to be a brand new IP. Blizzard can barely handle the 3 IPs they have right now.
As I
So adding another one isn't really going to help anything.
It gets worse.
You know, it's like people always make that argument. Nintendo only has fucking Mario and Metroid and Smash Brothers, and you know, but Mario has 10 different genres that he does. He has a fucking basketball game. He has a kart racer. He has a platformer. He has a dance game. He, you know, use that
Be careful.
as your catalyst. Like, the IP of Warcraft is strong, so use it. The IP, I would say, did for Hearthstone. You know, it's a collectible card game, but they used an already established IP. Do that. That's fine. Make your creative end goals. Make smaller projects, but use what people already know. And
Okay, I
yeah,
see what you
yeah. So like that way, it's saving money. You don't have to go through all the research and development of making a whole new fucking story and putting 200 people on a team to make brand new art assets. Like, no, you already have art assets. You have 20 years of art assets. Like, just use that stuff, you know? And
Okay.
but a lot of people are thinking, oh, is this year we're gonna see something on like World of Starcraft, or you know, here we go. There's some more people. We're recruiting people now. They don't need another MMO because that would break more people away from Warcraft.
For honor.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so there would be even less WoW subscribers. Sure, they would probably make those up in the other game. Like, so if you had 10 million subscribers, which they don't, but if you had 10 million and then 8 left, but then those 8 joined your other game, you're still doing okay, but now you're splitting cost. Now you're having to pay for maintenance on 2 MMOs. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems... I wonder if I get to recruit all these kids. That'd be hilarious. Are they going to turn into soldiers? Come on. Turn into
A
soldiers.
sound plan.
No, they're not going to.
I'm here to help.
All right, that's fine.
Is there danger?
Just checking in with everybody, I guess.
You got some kids though.
Yeah.
For honor.
God bless her.
A sound plan.
But yeah, I do think Blizzard's in a good place, and I think Blizzard just needs to stick with what they know, and what they know is Diablo, Starcraft, and Warcraft. They just need to restructure. I think them getting rid of Titan, people thought, oh god, this is the end of Blizzard. But people remember Starcraft Ghost. People remember Warcraft Adventures, the CDI game. If you want to talk about full motion video games, this was going to be one of them. It was going to be the story of Arthas with the hand-drawn like Zelda CDI MS Paint paintings. That's what that game was going to be. And they're like, no, this kind of sucks. And then they canceled it.
I stand.
So with Titan, they just didn't. Oh, we saved Timmy. Look at we're doing so much better this time.
Certainly.
I just like the fact that that's a thing that we had to do. I'm
For honor.
Prince fucking Arthas, and I just saved Timmy. But even that shows, oh, look how good of a guy Arthas
Of
is.
course.
Isn't that
Good guy.
swell?
Good guy. Arthas.
Good guy, Arthas.
Certainly.
Wearing the hat and everything.
A
Right.
sound
Or
plan.
no, he's the one with this
Of
big
course.
cigar in his mouth, or the cigarette, with the pop collar. The pop collar
There you go.
Arthas. That's right. So we're gonna go this way. Here we go.
For honor.
Now I feel better about our chances. Let's see. Where's the duder with? Okay, yep. I'm gonna select those targets. Let me go back here and heal my guys. Who needs? I'll just heal with the icons down here. That's easier.
I'm here to help.
I could go up there and kill that stuff, but I don't want to lose any guys in that fight.
Right.
So we're gonna go talk over here.
Without it, I will lose my entire.
But have you ever been, like, I know you had that little dabble of time with Warcraft. Was Warcraft ever really anything you really considered? Like, was there a group of people that really tried to press it on thick? And, like, you really need to play this game. It's the best game I've ever played. Like, did you ever get any of that?
For honor.
Well, it was that same group of guys because it was the time when I was working with Sony.
Yeah.
And that's all they talked about. Like whenever we were testing our games, that's all they ever talked about.
What year was that?
You know,
The light.
2006, 2007.
Okay, so that was right before Burning Crusade. That the hype was maximum at that point.
Right. And I would chime in like, Final Fantasy 11 is pretty good too. Like, there's no way it's not WoW.
It can't be
Okay.
good.
Oh. But yeah.
A sound
Well,
plan.
I will say, WoW gets a lot of flack lately. The game's still incredible. I will say that it's probably, I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is real fucking good. But it's
I stand for the light.
I would still say bang for your buck wise, as far as the amount of content you get, things like that. World of Warcraft's still the game to beat. Just because you have 10 years of, you have 10 years of lore, or you have like 30 years of lore, but you have 10 years of just that one game. All of that content's still there. You can still get groups, all your unlockable like pets, and they added like fucking Pokemon. Like there's just so much to do in that game. And so I would still recommend it, but it is showing its age. And I hope Warlords of Draenor is good enough to kind of bring it back into a limelight. I mean, it's not really hurting. If we go on twitch.tv right now, I guarantee in the top 5 is Warlords of Draenor. WoW is still a heavy hitter as far as Twitch goes, as far as YouTube videos. The forums are still like on fire all the time. So it's not really hurting. It's just, it's kind of played out, I guess is the best way to put it. Its day has passed. Final Fantasy is kind of the new hype. But there's a lot to love about Warcraft. And I'm hoping this BlizzCon, at least for me, what I really want to happen, and I mean, I don't even have the money for this to happen, but I'm hoping at this BlizzCon, they convince me that day to buy Warlords of Draenor. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to sell me on that shit super hard. I want them to lay it on thick. I want them to tell me why I should love Warcraft again. Because this is a great reason to love Warcraft. Sure, the game looks a little old with Warcraft 3, but the gameplay's still phenomenal. I'm still really bad at it because I died. Okay, now instead of me and one other guy, now we have like 5 full health dudes. I think we're okay. Let's heal everybody.
Of course.
Let's do this before we get in this fight here.
For honor.
Here we go. But Battle.net is still a thing. On this, you can still play competitive Warcraft 3, which is kind of funny. Like, I think it's kind of amazing that, and there's still hardcore people. I will warn you that if you go up against any of those people, they will whoop your ass, because they have been playing every day since this game fucking came out.
They never stop.
They never stop. Yeah, this is their game, so they're gonna play it forever. But like, as you can see, campaign, defeat the slave master.
Certainly.
So there's a lot of lore going on. There's a lot of story. They're laying it on kind of thick. Oh God. Oh, look at that kid. Look at that kid's face. That poor child.
Bring them home safe.
Don't worry, son.
Prince
Arthas, Lord Uther needs you at the Orc encampment immediately. Uh-oh, some drama's picking up. Never a dull moment. Let's get moving.
Let's get moving.
Victory.
Hurrah.
Yeah. But that, you know what? I think that's gonna be our power hour of Warcraft 3. I know we only did basically 2 little prelude things, but that kind of gives you a taste of, you get to control a hero. You still have to make your encampment. You still have to chop down trees for wood and go get gold and afford things and try to balance out the strategy of the micromanagement of your units and the macro management of your base. And yeah, the Metacritic on this game I think is still like at a 97% out of like 10,000 reviews or something. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best PC games ever made, and that's not hyperbole. Like, it's rated that way. The user ratings are still so good. Critic rating, people loved it. You can get it in a battle chest right now. You can get Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos, which we're playing right now, the full expansion Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne, an entire like lore of Warcraft book, like an ebook, plus the entire strategy guide for both games, all for $20. And you can get that digitally from Battle.net, which is Blizzard's kind of online store. It's tied to your Battle.net account. You can actually do it. You can actually download it straight from there. It's a direct download. It plays for Mac or PC. So no matter what you're gaming on, you can play it. I highly recommend it. It has a lot of amazing lore. This is kind of what really got me into Warcraft lore, was this game. Just the downfall of Arthas was just such a profound thing. I mean, God, I was 16, 17. So I mean that was kind of the perfect timing. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, here's a guy who's going against the grain. He's doing what he believes in, but no one else believes in him. But then he's going to show them with revenge. Like, it's one of those. It's a tragic story, but it's a classic story, and it just works. And it's yeah. I mean that's about it. But thank you, Marco, for sitting in with the old Warcraft lore head and myself.
No worries, man.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, we're looking forward to BlizzCon. We'll probably talk about BlizzCon, probably not on the next Power Hour because insider tip, we're about to record it. But I'll be talking about it on Twitter. We'll be paying attention to it. If any breaking news happens, I might make a YouTube video of me just flipping out in front of my webcam.
Yeah, you just do the reaction.
Do a
video.
reaction vid, posting up, trailers and stuff like that. But my overall predictions, I think we're gonna hear some more about Hearthstone. They're gonna really cement in the fact of Warlords of Draenor. I'm hoping the surprise of the show is gonna be a reveal trailer for Legacy of the Void, which is the third and final StarCraft 2 expansion, because we've heard nothing about it, not a single fucking thing, like nothing. So they had to have been working on it. So they're probably going to show it. We probably won't get a release date. They might get saucy and give us a release date, which would be great. But overall, I think Blizzard's in a good place, and I think the golden age of World of Warcraft is over. But the game is still kind of the best of the best. And if you're into MMOs, if you've never even played an MMO, it's probably the best one to start with. I will say that now the competition is a lot thicker with Final Fantasy XIV, like a lot. Like it's almost one of those that I almost took back what I said about it, Warcraft being the best MMO, because I'm like, well, talk to me on a certain day, and I could go either way.
Well, here's the thing though. Yoshi P, the guy that that rescued Final Fantasy XIV, said that you should be playing other MMOs just to get your ideas, for what you're working on. And him and his team played WoW, so like
a lot of it.
A lot of the stuff that you see in Final Fantasy XIV probably came from WoW.
Almost directly. There's a lot of stuff that directly did come from WoW, and it's for the better. Like they're very smart in the way they're doing business, because they're taking a look at what worked, they're taking a look at what they didn't think worked, and then they're cutting all the fat, they're keeping all that lean muscle. It's awesome, man. That game's incredible. But yeah, BlizzCon hype. It's happening Friday, Saturday, and I believe Sunday. The closing ceremony, they fucking got Metallica.
Oh, there you go.
They're ending it with Metallica, which is rad. They had Tenacious D before. They had the Foo Fighters, which was awesome. They had Ozzy Osbourne, which I'm a huge Ozzy fan. But now they got Metallica. It's like, how much money do you guys have? Yeah, if we want to talk about Blizzard hurting for money, they can afford Metallica for the BlizzCon closing ceremony. So they're doing okay, right? But thank you so much, Marco, for joining me. This has been a blast. We took a look at Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. Maybe sometime down in the deep, dark future, we'll take a look at Frozen Throne. We'll get to all the nitty-gritty, the downfall of Arthas, all that fun stuff. But yeah, go read Warcraft books. Everyone go nerd out. It's BlizzCon week. Go have fun. We're going to see you guys next week with a game that's quite a bit different. It was Marco's pick. I'm not even going to tell you guys what it is. But if you think words like rad and bodacious can work for Warcraft 3, you ain't seen nothing yet. But we're going to see you guys next week. Thank you so much. This has been Power Hour episode number 17. Marco, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, as always.
And we'll see you next week here on the Power Hour.